Hey, welcome back. It's Mr. Ray again, and today what we're doing is solving system of equations where there's two quadratics by substitution. Yeah, that's right, by substitution. And this is an important skill because we're going to be using this a lot in all areas of math, continuing forward in trig and calculus and so on. So let's go ahead and get started and look at the first one. So looking at the first one, we've got y is equal to x squared plus 4x plus 3, and y is equal to negative x squared plus 2x plus 3, and we want to solve for y and x, the points at which they cross. Now, if you remember from my last video, the first quadratic is going to be a parabola, and it's going to go up because x squared is positive, but the second parabola is going to go down. So take a note of that. And the reason is a is greater than 0 for the first one, and a is less than 0 for the second one. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to find out where these cross. Do they cross? Well, when do they have the same point? And an easy way to do this is substitution. What I want to do is I want to look at each equation and see if I have a variable by itself. Yes, y is by itself. Okay. Second one, do I have a variable by itself? Yes, y is by itself on one side of the equation. Are they the same variable? Yes. Well then, I'm going to set y equal to y. So x squared plus 4x plus 3 is therefore equal to negative x squared plus 2x plus 3, since they're both y and it's both by themselves. Okay, that will help me to find the x, because now there's no y's, there's one x. There's only one variable. One equation, one variable is my goal. One equation, one variable. Now, let's go ahead and solve. So when I do this, I'm going to add x squared to both sides. Add x squared to both sides, and I'm going to get 2x squared. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. 2x from both sides. I'm going to get plus 2x, and the 3's cancel because I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Great. What do I have? I have 2x squared plus 2x is equal to 0. Okay? Let me write that out again. What I have, and I'm going to do this in white, is I have 2x squared plus 2x is equal to 0. Okay, now be careful. Do not divide both sides by x. You'll lose a solution. Do factor out what you can factor out of both terms. What can I factor out of both 2x squared and 2x? What do they both have? What factor? They both have a 2x. When I do that, I factor out a 2x and I get x plus 1. Do not divide by x. You're going to lose a solution. Okay? So now I have 2x times x plus 1 is equal to 0. What are my two solutions? One is x equal to 0. And one is x equal to negative 1. Right there and right there. If x is equal to 0, it's 0. If x is equal to negative 1, it's 0. So I have these two solutions. Okay, now let's put a negative 1 back into one of the equations. X squared plus 4x plus 3. X squared plus 4x plus 3. Now, why am I using that? I'm using that because the x squared is positive and I don't want to make mistakes. So I want to use the equation that's positive. When I do that, what do I get? Yeah, when I put the negative 1, I get a 0. Negative 1 squared plus 4 times negative 1 plus 3 is equal to 0. Great. So I have a point, negative 1, 0. Next solution is going to be 0 is equal to x. Well, I can see right away, if I put 0 in x squared plus 4x plus 3, I get 0 squared plus 4 times 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. And there I have my 2 points, point 1, point 2. That's where they cross. Great, let's take a look at the next example. Okay, this is the next example. So do you remember what we did last time for the previous example? Yeah, we want to look at to see if there's a variable by itself on one side of the equation. There is. Is there a variable on one side of the equation for the second one? There is. We're going to have, therefore, x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to negative x squared plus 4x plus 5. Great. And then we're going to solve. We're going to add x squared minus 4x minus 5 on both sides of the equation. And that's going to give me 2x squared minus 6x minus 8 is equal to 0. Can I factor anything out? Yes, a 2. 2 times x squared minus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. Can I factor? Yes. Take a look at my tutorial on factoring. That's going to be 2 times x minus 4 times x plus 1 equal to 0. Okay? So we're going to get a 4 and a negative 1. Negative 1, comma, I'm going to leave a space for the y, and I'm going to get a 4, comma, leave space for the y. I'm going to put these x values back into this equation, the x squared minus 2x minus 3 equation, okay? And when I put a negative 1 in there, I'm going to get a 0. When I put a 4, I'm going to get a 5, right? Negative 1 squared minus 2 times negative 1 minus 3 is equal to 0 when I put it in here, okay? And when I put a 4, I get 5. 4 squared minus 2 times 4 minus 3 is equal to 5. So again, what did I do? I set the two quadratics equal to each other. I solved for x, and then I put those x values back into one of the equations to get the y's. And I got 2 points. That means they cross at 2 places, the parabolas. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, we have y equal to x squared minus 4x plus 5. We have y equal to negative x squared plus 4x minus 3. Do you remember what to do? Pause the video and see how much you can do right now. I'll be right here. Okay, now did you notice something interesting? If you watch my video about elimination, we could actually add these together. Why? Because the x's cancel. They have the same number opposite sign. X squared has a 1 for the first one. X squared has a 1 here, a negative 4. And the second one, x squared has a negative 1 and a positive 4. If we were to add these together, we'd get 2y. The x squares would cancel, the 4x's would cancel, and we would get 2y is equal to 2. What? Y is equal to 1 right away. And we would get an answer that way, okay? However, let's do the method that I started with, substitution. By the way, this is called elimination, but it's totally possible to do it that way. So let's go back to substitution. For substitution, I'm going to have x squared minus 4x plus 5, the way I showed you, equal to negative x squared plus 4x minus 3. Then you solve. Okay, you're going to add x squared, subtract 4x, add 3 to both sides. Why? It cancels all this on this side. We get 2x squared minus 8x plus 8 is equal to 0. Great. And I can factor out a 2, right? So I'm going to have x squared minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay? Woo. So what I get here is I get 2 times x minus 2 squared equal to 0. That's a perfect square. X squared minus 4x plus 4 is a perfect square. It's one binomial squared. Okay, well anyways, we get x equal to 2. Now if I put that in to the original, let me put that value back into this one. When I do that, I get 2 times 2 minus 4 times 2 plus 5. What do I get here? Well, 4 minus 8 plus 5. Hey, that looks like 1. Remember we got 1 before with the elimination? So we have 2, 1. We have one solution. Well, how can we have one solution? I want to talk about these two, and I want to complete the square real quick because I want to show you why we have one solution. Okay, here are those two quadratics again. Remember we had one solution, 2, 1. 2, 1 was the solution. They cross at one point, or they touch at one point. How can that be? Well, the first parabola, let's call this parabola 1, and this is parabola 2. 1 is going up. The first one is going up, and the first one is going down, right? So they must touch at the vertex. In other words, the vertex must be the same. Is it, though? Let's check that, because we know how to complete the square. The first one, y equal to x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 1. I did it just using the idea that I know x squared minus 4x plus 4 is definitely x minus 2 squared. Then I have that plus 1 out here. Great. What's that vertex? 2, 1. Is that going to be the same for this vertex? For this vertex? Well, let's take a look. I have y, I'm going to write it again over here. Y is equal to x squared plus 4x minus 3. My first step to complete this square is to factor out the negative. I'm going to have negative outside, minus a 4x, because I factor out a negative out of the positive, and I'm going to have a negative 3 here. What do I need to do to complete the square? I need a plus 4. This happens a lot. You get x squared minus 4x plus 4 occurring a lot. Well, what did we really do? We really minus 4 because we have that negative on the outside. Or if you want to think about it, b divided by 2 squared. So we would have to, if we added it, we subtract a times b divided by 2 squared on the outside. Okay? So b divided by 2 squared times a negative 1 would be a plus 4 if I subtract it, because a is negative, so there's really a positive there. Easier way to think about it, I added the 4 here, right? But it was really a negative, so I subtracted a 4, so I need to add a 4. And so what does this give me? Well, this gives me y equal to negative x minus 2 squared plus 1. What's the vertex? 2, 1. They have the same vertex, so they touch in one point, okay? Yeah, one goes up and the other goes down. Okay, last one. Hey, real quick, if these videos are helping you out, great. Please do me a favor and like and subscribe. Tell a friend, share it, and I'll be making more videos. It really helps out the channel, helps me to get this out to more people, to help more people. And if you ever have a question, please leave it in the comment section so that I can help you out. All right, last example, y is equal to x squared plus 5. Y is equal to x squared minus 3. You know what to do. Try this one. It's a little bit different though, okay? Okay, if you try this one, you're gonna notice something different. We have y by itself, check. We have y by itself, we're gonna set y equal to y, or x squared plus 5 is equal to x squared minus 3, okay? To find out where they have the same y, The problem is that unlike the other problems, when we subtract x squared from both sides like we've been doing, or adding, they cancel on both sides. Is 5 equal to negative 3? No. There's no solution. That could happen. How could that happen? You could have a parabola someplace, and you can have a parabola someplace else, and they never share a point. They never share a point. Never share a point, okay? And that means no solution. Great. Okay. Now, the next video, I'm probably going to expand on this a little bit more, so it makes a little bit more sense. But right now, hopefully this helped. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help you. Again, my name is Mr. Ray. I'm here to help. Thank you. See you in the next one.